The prosecution just dropped a bombshell in the murder case of the musician David. They were in court, preliminary hearing, and the prosecution said that there was a significant amount of child pornography on David's iPhone. Now, the hearing today was all about the evidence that the DA's team has managed to build, and the defense wants to see it. They say that David is innocent of the charges, that he did not murder 14-year-old Celeste, but every time there's a hearing, we're learning more about this case, and the DA says that David was sexually abusing Celeste as of September 2023, when she was barely 13 years old, just after she had turned 12. Now, they have another hearing scheduled for later this month, which means that if the judge says, hey, we move forward with the preliminary case, the DA is going to have to produce some of the evidence. That will become public. We will know much more exactly about what kind of evidence the prosecution has, maybe witnesses that they have been talking to, and what the allegations are specifically. But again, the defense maintains that they are pushing for a speedy trial, pushing for the prosecution to give them what they have, because they believe the evidence will not hold up in trial. Also, they have been angling for bail because at this point, David is being held without any bail. He could face the death penalty if he's convicted, because he not only faces a murder charge for the killing of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, but there are aggravating circumstances, including that he was allegedly lying in wait, that he did it for financial gain, and that he murdered a witness. So this is building up into something pretty big.
PD did what? The internet just broke in half, and honey, the receipts are too real to ignore. The boy who wrote a song literally called Romantic Homicide just got arrested for the actual murder of a 14-year-old girl. And to make matters even worse, word on the street is that the connections surrounding this case go a whole lot deeper than what's being reported. We're talking Epstein-level networks, a father being dragged into a grand jury investigation, a manager being named as a possible suspect, and a burn cage allegedly found on the property. And all of it, is happening right as the Department of Justice drops 3.5 million pages of Jeffrey Epstein's files on the public in January 2026. Coincidence? Maybe. But I've been watching too much of this to believe in coincidences anymore. Now, the DA's office is saying that prosecutors found a significant amount of child pornography on this man's iPhone. We're talking over 40 terabytes of data collected from his devices alone, and the special circumstances attached to his first-degree murder charge, lying in wait and financial gain, mean that if he's convicted, he could be looking at the death penalty. Listen, there is a lot to talk about here, so grab a chair and let's get into it.
Yeah, so we just got out of that hearing about 10 minutes ago. The big headline from this is simply how much data, how much evidence that we're dealing with. The district attorney's office, the prosecutors in this case, so that there's 40 terabytes of data that they're trying to figure out how to upload so that all parties involved can take a look.
You probably heard of D4vd, and I'm not talking about a small artist. This man was on a Billboard 200 debut. He opened for SZA on her SOS tour. He had a song on the Invincible Amazon Prime soundtrack. He played Coachella. His real name is David Anthony Burke, born March 28, 2005, in Queens, New York, raised in Houston, Texas. He started out making Fortnite montage videos, and to avoid copyright strikes, he started writing his own music. He recorded Romantic Homicide on his iPhone, in his sister's closet, in 30 minutes. And it went viral on TikTok in September 2022. Got him signed to Darkroom and Interscope Records, both owned by Universal Music Group, and peaked at number 3 on the Hot Alternative Songs chart. His fan base was almost exclusively teenage girls, and he knew exactly how to reach them because he ran a Discord server specifically for his fans. That server is where, according to prosecutors, the connection to Celeste Rivas Hernandez allegedly started. As early as 2022, a user with the username Celeste was present in his Discord, and other users at the time reportedly referred to her as D4vd's girlfriend. She was 11 years old. Now this is where it gets really dark. Celeste Abigail Rivas Hernandez was born on September 7, 2010 in Lake Elsinore, California. She was a 7th grader who loved Hello Kitty and loved to sing and dance. According to prosecutors, the sexual abuse allegedly started in September 2023, when she was 13 years old and D4vd was 18, an adult, a signed recording artist with a major label.
Update in the death investigation of Celeste Rivas, the teenage girl found dead in the trunk of a rapper's car last September. There are reports a witness in the case has been forced back to LA.
So what happened was, in January 2024, Celeste appeared alongside D4vd on a Twitch live stream. The two were joking and talking until around 3 in the morning. And during that stream, D4vd reportedly laughed and said to his moderators, "Delete everything." Around that same time, D4vd was photographed getting out of a black Tesla just blocks from Celeste's home in Lake Elsinore. A local teenager posted those photos to TikTok. And around Valentine's Day 2024, Celeste was reported missing for the first time. Someone was so concerned that they emailed an address bearing D4vd's name on his record label's domain. The email said there had been talk that D4vd might have something to do with her disappearance and begged him to do the right thing and take her home. Her parents are very worried, the person wrote. Celeste came home, but she disappeared again in March. Then again in April when her family filed a final missing person report. After that, nothing. She was missing for over a year. Her family didn't even know if she was alive. On September 8th, 2025, one day after what would have been her 15th birthday, a worker at a tow lot in Hollywood noticed a foul smell coming from a black Tesla that had been impounded from the Hollywood Hills. They called the police. Inside the front trunk, in a black bag, were the decomposed and dismembered remains of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The car was registered to D4vd. The medical examiner later determined she had died from 2 penetrating wounds to the torso. She was killed, prosecutors allege, on April 23, 2025, when D4vd summoned her to his Hollywood Hills home. His debut album, Withered, dropped 2 days later, April 25th, 2025. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that now, because we don't sugarcoat anything on this channel. Oh, honey, it doesn't stop there. Because while all this was going down, a whole other layer of this story was being uncovered on the internet. And girl, it connected dots that nobody was ready for. Word on the street is that D4vd's father, Dawood Burke, allegedly had connections to circles linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I want to be very clear. No formal charges have been filed against Dawood Burke in connection with Epstein specifically. But the internet went digging, and what they found raised serious eyebrows. Enough so that a YouTube video exposing the alleged connection got hundreds of thousands of views before most media outlets even acknowledged it existed. But here's what we know is absolutely confirmed. Prosecutors in California issued grand jury subpoenas to D4vd's father, mother, and younger brother, all of whom live in Texas. Dawood Burke fought the subpoena, claiming it violated his due process rights given that he lives out of state. The Texas court disagreed, and in the footnote of that ruling, a case name appeared for the very first time in any public document connected to this investigation. The people of the state of California versus David Burke. And that's not all. Investigators and a private detective hired by the owner of the Hollywood Hills property where D4vd had been renting reportedly found a burn cage on the premises. There were also reports that one of D4vd's managers was being looked at as a possible suspect in connection with the disposal of Celeste's body. Mind you, the DA's office themselves said that multiple people may have been involved in disposing of her remains.
I unplugged from this story because I was getting so upset that this man is still free roaming the streets. But David is the musician that was accused of, I can't even say he's accused or suspected. He is a suspect, but that's about it. So he was the one that owns the Tesla where the 14-year-old was found in the frunk. I kept saying trunk, but apparently it's frunk. And I said months ago, I said that he's not going to be convicted because of his connections. I didn't know what the connections were, but I knew, especially after all of the evidence came out. Like, it was announced that she was found in his frunk and he still tried to continue his tour. He's made songs about her and his music is so odd. He has a very strong obsession towards gore and I don't even know if I can say that, but yeah. If you know the case, you know that in public opinion, he is guilty. David's dad, he works for a company called Troutman Pepper Lock, and they also help Epstein victims. And I use the term help loosely because some say that they help them financially because they manage Epstein's estate, so of course financially. But others said that they were pressured into signing documents that would pretty much sign away their rights to ever come after Epstein or any of his affiliates. So yeah, they were helped monetarily once.
Now, none of this exists in isolation, because while this investigation was building, the Department of Justice was simultaneously releasing 3.5 million pages of Jeffrey Epstein's files. And if you've been following that story, you know the pattern. Powerful men, young girls, music, modeling, talent as a lure. A network of people around them who allegedly helped cover it up. Epstein used Ghislaine Maxwell to groom girls through modeling and talent connections. D4vd allegedly used Discord and music fame to access minors. The mechanism is different. The pattern, people are saying, is not. The timing of all of this? Too convenient to be a coincidence. I'm just saying. If you're new here, by the way, subscribe. Because, honey, we have been covering this story and we are not done. Now, as all this mess was going down, the entire music industry started running away from D4vd at full speed. Kali Uchis, who had a feature on his song Crashing from Withered, pulled the track from all streaming platforms and said publicly that D4vd is, quote, not my friend. Icelandic singer Laufey removed their collaboration, This Is How It Feels, from streaming entirely. That removal even cascaded into the world of sports when Olympic figure skater Elisa Liu had to change her entire competition routine because it had included the Laufey song. EA Sports removed his song from Madden NFL 26 without a public statement. Epic Games issued refunds to Fortnite players who had purchased in-game items featuring D4vd's music. And then Darkroom, Interscope, Sony Music Publishing, and his management company all dropped him entirely. Meanwhile, his parents, Dawood and Colleen Burke, released a statement through their attorneys saying they were sad and disappointed by the arrest, but that they fully believe in their son's innocence. His legal team told the court that the actual evidence would show David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez and was not the cause of her death. He pleaded not guilty to all charges. And here's the part that sends chills down your spine. After the discovery of Celeste's body, the song Romantic Homicide re-entered the music charts. The same song he recorded in 30 minutes in his sister's closet. The same song that made him famous enough to have access to a teenager he allegedly met through his own fan server in the first place. People had their thoughts about all of this. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about the alleged Epstein connections surrounding this case? And do you think D4vd acted alone? Or do you believe something much bigger was going on behind the scenes?